It can be really easy to see a whole bunch of isolated stories and events and not see them as part of a broader societal, cultural, and governmental move in any particular direction. So I want to put together just a few of the events that have taken place in the last 7 to 10 days to point out to you that we are very quickly moving towards an authoritarian, crony capitalist, corrupt dystopia, more than we already are in anyway. I want to catch you up just on a few of the stories from the last week and think through what all of these stories together mean. Just think about what in the last week has taken place. Donald Trump's reelection campaign is now paying legal fees for his kid out of donor money, okay? Trump's reelection campaign is paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to Trump-owned properties, and this is for the 2020 election. Big money is being made by the president and his family out of political donors' money. Trump's lawyer, Jay Sekulow, was on all 5 Sunday shows yesterday. Total coverage, unified message, same mouthpiece for the government on every one of the 5 major Sunday morning shows. Trump's own Election Integrity Commission is heating up. They televised a lunch late last week talking about how they're going to fix this non-existent problem of in-person voter fraud, all with the goal of further infringing on voter rights. And in addition, House Republicans are looking to defund the Election Assistance Commission, which is the only federal agency that exclusively works to ensure that the voting process is secure. Trump's air war has killed more than 2,000 civilians already. Are you hearing much about that? Not in corporate media. And meanwhile, you've got the White House railing against foreign workers and immigrants, while Trump's own businesses, you might not have heard of this, are filing for visas to bring in foreign workers. The Associated Press reported that the Trump Organization has asked the federal government, which of course Donald Trump is the president, to grant dozens of visas to allow foreign nationals to come work at 2 of Donald Trump's private clubs in Florida. Publicly, he's against undocumented immigration. He's against foreign workers, blah, 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 blah. And he's asking for special permits through his businesses to bring in foreign workers to, quote, take American jobs. And this is all while Trump creates Made in America Week, which, of course, relates to none of Ivanka Trump's products being manufactured in the United States, most of Donald Trump's apparel not being manufactured in the United States. And at the same time, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is set to shutter the State Department's War Crimes Office, which for 2 decades was there to hold war criminals accountables. At the same time, you've got Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, as we learn more and more about the lies he's told about his Russia connections, putting out a new directive aimed at increasing police seizures of cash and property. And even some Republicans are against this. Rand Paul tweeted, asset forfeiture is an unconstitutional taking of property without trial. It's creeping authoritarianism, Pat. And when you look at all these stories separately, you say, not good, but not a huge scandal. If you put it all together, and this was just 1 week, we have serious creeping authoritarianism in our country.
And even just offhand, I can think of a couple more things to add to that list, which is in that New York Times interview, Donald Trump attacked his own attorney general.
Right.
And he's also been floating this idea of firing the special prosecutor, Robert Mueller.
Sure.
Those are power grabs. I mean, you appoint those people and they are in the executive branch, but they're also quasi-independent organizations there.
Supposedly.
And the idea that he can just, that they owe him something in return, that they owe him his loyalty instead of, loyalty to the American people or the Constitution, that's an authoritarian streak.
And the biggest indicator that this is all really bad is that many of the things I just mentioned to you might not sound like a big deal, when some years ago, any one of the events I just mentioned, all of which took place in the last 7 to 10 days, by the way, would be red alert. Discuss this with us on our Reddit discussion forum, davidpakman.com/REDDIT. Today's sponsor is ZipRecruiter. If you are hiring, you need to know where to post your job to find the best candidates, and it can be tough. With ZipRecruiter, thankfully, you can post your job to over 100 job sites with one click, and then ZipRecruiter's technology will efficiently match the right people to your job. And that's why the ZipRecruiter system is different. Unlike other job sites, ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It will find them. And in fact, over 80% of jobs posted on ZipRecruiter receive qualified candidates within the first 24 hours. And with ZipRecruiter's back-end control panel, you don't need to juggle emails. You don't need to juggle calls to your office. You can screen, rate, and manage candidates all in one place. Right now, our listeners and viewers can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. If you go to ziprecruiter.com/free trial, that is ziprecruiter.com/free trial. One more time, you can try it free at ziprecruiter.com/free trial.